On this episode, we learned about the 5 stages of change by taking an engine out of an old truck, and I have a microphone now. I'm going to go over these different changes, these different stages, as we look through this truck to see if I forgot to disconnect something, because I really hope that I didn't. And if I did, that would not be a good day. There are 5 different stages. There's pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. Pre-contemplation is the stage that we are all in whenever we first get one of these old project cars or project vehicles that we have that we work on. This is when you know that there's a problem. Actually, no. You don't think there's a problem. You are reluctant to even look at it, and you feel that the situation is hopeless. The engine's messed up, and you're like, man, what am I going to do with my life? This is just the end, you know? The next one is contemplation. Contemplation is the moment, like I realized, whenever I started seeing all these gasket leaks all over the place, and this, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is just crust of dirt and grime all over the side of here. Once I noticed that, I know that there was something wrong, but I also had no commitment to change anything, because I'm like, it's fine. It's like that dog meme where he's sitting in his office on fire. Like, everything's good, it's leaking, but you know, it'll hold together. Forget that part. That's good. All right. The next one, preparation. This is where we are now. Preparation is your plan to action. You're making the final adjustments, but you still need a little bit of convincing to actually get to that point where you're actually going to do it. Like, we've made all these necessary changes, we took all the stuff out of the inside here, but we still need a little bit more convincing to actually do the thing that we need to do, which is pull this engine. The next stage, action, just like it says, you modify behaviors and environment and make the necessary changes in order for whatever plan you have to actually go through, which in our case would be finally taking the hood off of here, bringing the gantry crane out here, and then pulling the engine out. And the transmission, because we're going to pull it all together. It does require commitment and time and a lot of energy to do it. And it takes a lot of energy from me here because it's me by myself. I have some people around if I need help, but you know. Maintenance is the next one. The change that you make doesn't have to just end with the action. Like how us, once we actually get all this stuff done, we have to make sure that the engine that we put back in isn't going to reach the same fate of super greasy mess and blow up, just like this one. But you do need a strong commitment to do that, which I know all of you have. It's just, you guys may just be reluctant to change it. I think we have everything done here. I disconnected all the fuel lines. So let's go through my preparation stage here. So we're making the final adjustments, right? Fuel lines disconnected, and batteries out. The transmission cross member that's disconnected back there. Power steering pump is disconnected. I don't know if I said radiators out. I disconnected the exhaust. The oil pressure line is off. All the vacuum lines are out. So I think we have everything. Hopefully. And if we don't, as soon as we start pulling, it'll let us know. So let me get a chain here. I have one bolt here in the front, one bolt back here. So we're going to just hook a chain, get the gantry crane, and just pick it up and out. We do need to take this hood off, so let's get the hood off first. Grab yourself a 9/16, and the hood bolts come off. Don't worry, it didn't fall on me. But if you're doing this, make sure you're doing it with a friend or something. I don't have many friends, so I get to do this by myself. Now that we have an open concept with natural lighting, let me get a chain. We're going to hook it up from back there to up here, so we can just pull this thing straight up and out. I'm going to grab that real quick. That should do it, hopefully. Let me get the gantry crane. Here we go, we got it out. Piston coolant, that's some power steering fluid, and forgot to drain this, so it kind of made a small mess down here, but as long as you guys don't tell the EPA, I think we'll be good. So now, engine's out. And it is dirty. But actually not as dirty as I was thinking, but it is pretty dirty. Wonder, you know what? Now I can probably see the casting numbers. It should be like right here. There they are. Let's try to decode this and see what do we got. 460777. Let me check. Viewing the casting numbers on this thing, we have a 460777, which means that this small block 350 is actually a 305. This is a 305 that they had in this Chevy. The original engine was a 350 though. So what? We have what? I guess they did it for like gas savings, but like it's a 305. I'm shocked. What the heck? So I'm gonna start scraping some of this dirt off of here since I have this thing open. But I want to talk to you guys about your mental health moment now, which is a perfect opportunity because we did find a problem or something that was unexpected in this thing, right? So at the beginning, I did tell you guys how there are the 5 stages of change, but there are also times where you switch back and forth between them, and that's normal. So you might think, first of all, you might think, why is there so much dirt on this? Yes, me too. But so you might be thinking, what would take for a person to get to that point, right? So then they would switch back and forth between the different stages. One of the things would be things like what happened right now, unforeseen circumstances. So before, right, we were in the preparation stage, or more like the action stage, because we're actually pulling this engine all the way out of here. Now it seems like we might be back to the contemplation stage, because we did find out that the 350 that was in here is not a 350, it's actually a 305. So now we're back to contemplating and acknowledging that there's a problem. We're sort of having a commitment to the change, but right now we're weighing the options, right? Pros and cons. We do have, now we know we have a 305. The thing that I wanted to put back in here was a 350. Oddly enough, I do have a 350 block over there in the back. So I originally thought that we were gonna have 2 350s to work with afterwards, but it turns out that we only have 1. So if we make our pros and cons list, obviously we're going to put a 350 in here, so that 350 over there is going to go in here. But all of the parts that we have, I thought we were going to have more options, but we don't. So now it's going to be that engine solely is going to come back in here, and now we have a 305 that it just needs to be rebuilt. And maybe we'll shove that in the Kaiser or something, I don't know. So that's what happens sometimes whenever you are in these contemplation stages and something happens and then it takes you into a different stage. And like I said before, it's completely normal. It's natural for that to happen because obviously life is not just cut and dry. It takes a lot of things, and sometimes you get thrown unexpected challenges, like the previous owner swapping in a 305 in this big pickup. Probably, he probably did it for fuel savings. Now that I'm thinking about it. But one thing we do have to do is clean up all of this dirt. This is disgusting in here. So before we can put the engine back in here, we do have to clean all this off. Give it a nice little paint. But yeah, that's that's how some people can be switching through the different stages. And I like the fact that I can explain it to you guys in this form, like going through rebuilding an engine and pulling an engine out, because it's something that you guys know how it is. You've done it before, probably. You've experienced this stuff, and it's something that you can relate to. Sometimes therapists will just give you some situations that just don't seem like the same, you know? And it's just hard for you to kind of wrap your head around why that example is relevant to your life. But if you're adding it to something that you already know what it is, like pulling an engine, it seems easier for you to understand. I mean, at least to me, it seems easier for me to understand. So that's why I do it this way. So there's a lot here, a lot of dirt. Just look at this. This is all the dirt that we've pulled up so far, and you can see that there is just it's caked on. There's so much of it in there. Don't mind that mess, just don't look at it. I guess it'll go away probably. It's deep in here. Look at this. So hopefully a good pressure wash, clean this all up. So that's what we're gonna do in the next video. So if you want to keep seeing this thing get back on the road, like, follow, subscribe, and you'll be able to see all this stuff, because there's certainly a lot of work to do. We got the engine out. It's over here. The engine we're replacing it with is back there. That's a 350 out of a Camaro. It's like a 70s Camaro. So next thing we're gonna do, clean this whole thing up and then keep going from there. So thanks for sticking around this far. Next video, like I said, we're gonna be cleaning this thing up just so we can prepare the rest of the engine to get started. So if you like what you see, like, follow, subscribe. Like I said, we're gonna be cleaning this thing out. We're gonna be putting the new engine in here. So in the next videos, we're cleaning this, setting up the new engine, hot tanking that thing, rebuilding the whole thing. And now we get to rebuild not only a 350 but a 305, learn how to do a transmission probably, and we'll go from there. There's a lot to do and a lot of videos to come, so hit the bell so you get notified when I post a new one. As for now, I'm gonna go lay down a little bit because I'm old and I want to go lay down. So actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm gonna pressure wash this right now. You'll see that in the next video. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.